We all know that the weight of student loan debt can feel crushing.
Yeah, that average payment's now up to $400 a month. But what's happening in the Supreme Court today? Yeah, that could just wipe away up to 20 grand of your debt.
Let's dig into it. Supreme Justices considered two different loan forgiveness challenges. One is by 6 Republican-led states that say the debt forgiveness program will cost them money. In court papers, they say it's a breathtaking and transformative exercise of power. The other challenge is by 2 students who say the program should do more to relieve student debt. During oral arguments, Chief Justice John Roberts questioned the fairness of just forgiving loans for college students.
Nobody's telling the person who is trying to set up the lawn service business that he doesn't have to pay his loan. He still does, even though his tax dollars are going to support the forgiveness of the loan for the college graduate who's now going to make a lot more than him.
The justices, 6 conservatives and 3 liberals, will eventually decide if President Biden has the authority to wipe away about $500 billion in student debt. The president's lawyers are arguing the federal law grants him the power to forgive the loans, while opponents say he is going too far. Under the plan, up to 43 million people would be eligible for some federal student loan debt relief. People making less than $125,000 a year could see $10,000 in student loan debt forgiven, and people who got Pell Grants could get up to $20,000 forgiven. A decision is expected by the end of the current term in late June. Now, it's not just the Supreme Court justices weighing in on this student loan case. Lawmakers have made it clear where they stand. North Carolina senators do not support this loan forgiveness program. Senator Tom Tillis said today, in part, Biden's student loan forgiveness does not actually forgive the debt. It forces American taxpayers to pay off the debt of high earners. A similar statement from Senator Ted Budd, who said in part, the Biden student loan cancellation plan is a wealth transfer from the vast majority of taxpayers who don't have a college degree to wealthy elites who don't need this sort of bailout. Many students, though, disagree. They say costly loans are holding them back from getting advanced degrees and higher paying jobs, helping the overall economy. They also say the holdup with the lawsuit is putting a lot of extra strain on their finances.
I'm currently sitting on about over $70,000 worth of student loan debt just to obtain my education. On top of that, even wanting to further my education with a doctorate degree.
People right now are feeling the effects of this. So it's not fair that they have to wait because people think, oh, maybe we should see if it's legal or not.
Well, millions of people are waiting on the decision. Here in the Triad alone, it could impact more than 100,000 people. The Department of Education released data earlier this month showing just how many borrowers could get relief, and they broke it down by congressional districts. So let's look. At least half of borrowers either applied for relief or were automatically eligible for their debt to be wiped out. When you take a look at District 6, which covers Greensboro, High Point, parts of Winston-Salem, the data shows 71,000 people applied or were automatically eligible for relief under President Biden's plan. 46,000 applications were already approved and sent to loan providers when the lawsuits were filed. So right now, while borrowers wait, let's kind of go back. How did we get to this point with the student loan forgiveness plan being blocked? Well, when the pandemic got underway in 2020, loan payments were paused to give people some relief. The payment pause was then extended a few times. Last August, President Biden announced his plan to wipe out debt for millions of borrowers who qualified. Just weeks later, the lawsuit started. The plan was officially paused by a 3-judge panel in November who ruled until the legal cases play out, no debt would be wiped out.
In a battle of states versus the federal government, this case is the latest in a string of state attorney generals suing to overturn a policy of a president from an opposite party. It's a growing trend, according to a Case Western Reserve University law professor.
So this began in the late Bush administration. We saw it throughout the Obama administration. We saw it throughout the Trump administration. And it's becoming, it's accelerating. States are becoming more aggressive in using the courts to wage political battles against a president of the opposite party. And it's been going back and forth now for, again, about 15 years. And I certainly think at some point the court will reconsider whether or not it's made it too easy for states to file these sorts of suits, because the courts really shouldn't be the place where all of these big political questions are resolved.
According to attorneysgeneral.org, this type of suit really spiked during former President Trump's term, with 160 of them. So far, Republican AGs have won almost 76% of cases against President Biden. Democrats won 83% of cases against former President Trump. And Republicans won 63% of cases against former President Obama. While the Supreme Court justices make their decision, you may feel like you are just stuck waiting. But there are 3 things you can do right now to get your loans and finances in better shape. 1. While federal loans are accruing 0 interest, get a jump on any amounts above the forgiveness thresholds of $10,000 and $20,000. That is, as long as you can afford to do so. 2, you should also go to the website studentaid.gov and make sure that you've enrolled in auto debit. That will ensure that if the interest rate clock starts ticking again, you will not miss a payment. And 3, if your financial situation has changed, check out the loan simulator to determine if a different repayment plan better meets your needs or if consolidation might help.
Bottom line, for right now, we're in a holding pattern. The student loan pause will remain until lawsuits and court hearings are resolved.
And at that point, you would have 60 days before payments resumed. Experts say even if the Supreme Court does not side with President Biden's current plan, the president still has options.
I am really interested in seeing how this case comes out, because it will affect real people in real ways. And if it doesn't, if the administration, I think, gets shut down through this route, I think there are other legal avenues for them to do loan cancellation, and that will be the next thing that I think that we'll be looking at.
You can count on us to stay on top of the decision and what it means for you.